Hey guys, what's up? My name is Nikhil and welcome to my channel Dope Motions. Today we're gonna learn how to create this kind of motion graphic accents which are also known as circle burst or pop-up effects. And as you can see, it looks kind of complex, but it is actually very simple and easy. So you can use this kind of effects or accents to give a little bit of character to your animation. So with that said, let's jump in and get started. Alright, so first of all, I'm going to create a new composition and let's just name this accents. 1920 by 1080 should be good, 30 frames and 3 seconds should be good enough. Then I'm going to create a square using the shape layer tool. So I'm just draw randomly. Go to rectangular properties, rectangular path, and change the side parameters to 100 by 100 pixels. There we go. There we have a perfect square. And then I'm going to delete the fill because we don't need it. Then I'm going to go into my transform rectangular 1 properties and bring the position to 0 and this to 0 as well, so that the rectangle or the square is in the center. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just close this. Maybe we just need the rectangular path, and make sure you are on the beginning of the composition and click on the stopwatch of size and position. Then I'm going to go to, let's say, 20 frames and set the position to somewhere around this. Just bring this up. Maybe 379 should work perfect for you. And then I'm going to create a new keyframe for size. Go back to this beginning and change the size to 0. So I'll just bring this down to 0. So now we should have something like this. See, looking nice. Then I'm going to go to my stroke properties, go to the very beginning and increase the stroke width to maybe, let's say, 8. Click on the stopwatch, go to 20 frames and bring this down to 0. Now we have something like this. Then I'm going to close this parameters and add repeater. There we go. And maybe I'll bring the copies to, let's say, 8 copies should look good. So now we have 8 copies, you can see. Now we need to create that circle. So we need to rotate the copies. So to do that, I'm going to go to transform repeater and bring the position down to 0 again. And now we need to rotate it. So we can do it by, randomly, but it's not give that perfect circle. So to get the perfect circle, what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide 8 copies by 360. So 360 divided by 8. Now if you have 6 copies, do it 360 divided by 6. If you have 10 copies, do it 360 divided by 10. I hope you get that, because that's very important. So now we should have something like this. Now I'm going to select the layer and hit U to bring up all the keyframes. Select the keyframes and hit F9 to easy ease them. Go to graph editor and bring them a little bit closer like this. So it's going to give some fast motion and then settle down slowly. So now if I render it pretty quick, you can see it looks really nice. Pretty nice. Scale this down to 50%. See, looking pretty good. Now what we can do is we can just select this and Control D to duplicate it and displace this by 5 frames. We have something like this. See, go to the rectangular properties, that is the rectangle 1, rectangle path 1, and change the roundness to 100. That way we get these circles. You see, looking pretty nice. Now I'm going to select both the layers and hit Ctrl D to duplicate it. Just bring this up and displace them by 5 frames. And now we should have something like this. You can see it looks pretty nice. You can just pretty quickly change the colors if you want. Maybe I'll keep this an orange. The second one I'll keep blue. The third I'll make them kind of a dark pink. And this I'll make kind of a green color maybe. Something like that, and it should look really nice. You can see It looks really nice. Now I'm going to create the strokes, which you can see right over there. You see this cool looking strokes. Now it's a little bit different to create the strokes, so to do that I'm just going to hide this first of all. Select my pen tool, turn on my title action safe, and create a line by holding shift, something like this. We can just hide this so that we can see our stroke. Hide the title action safe. Just name this line pretty quick. Then I'm going to go and add trim parts and bring down the trim parts properties and bring the end property to 0. Go to the very beginning, click on the stopwatch of start and end, go to, let's say, maybe 20 frames, and bring the start and end properties up to 100%. So bring this to 100 and this to 100 as well. Then I'm going to select the start keyframes and displace them by maybe 3 seconds or 3 frame I mean. It's going to give something like this. Maybe I'll just displace them a little bit more, maybe up to 5 frames. Now we should have something like this, looking pretty lame, I know. So to give that little bit quick motion, I'm going to hit F9 to easy ease and do the same exact thing like we did before. Just drag them out. So it's going to give that little bit of cool motion to it. See, it looks pretty nice. Now I'm going to do the same process. I'm going to go and add a repeater and do the same thing as we did before. I'm going to create 8 copies. Go to transform repeater 1, bring the position down to 0 and rotate it by 360, divide by 8. We have our cool line burst effect. See, looking pretty nice. Now the lines I think are a little bit more bigger. Need to bring this down a little bit. You can increase this by, if you want more bigger lines or more longer lines I mean. I'm going to just decrease this by right over there. Okay, that is looking pretty nice. So if I turn on all my layers, you can see we get this really cool effect. I'm going to just scale this down pretty quick by 50%. And I'm going to keep this somewhere maybe around, let's say here. So now we should have some really nice motion. Now we have this cool looking accent effect. You can see it looks really nice. Now one more thing you can do is I'm going to duplicate the line shape layer and I'm going to make this line a dashed line. So if I just display this again, go to shape, go to stroke and just click on this plus button and it's going to give some really nice dashes, so you can increase or decrease it depending on what look you're going for. So I'm going to keep this somewhere around there, and now we should have this cool dashed lines. Now you can create as complex as you want and you can change the shapes. You can use triangles or polygons or something like that and create some really nice and complex animation. You can also use these things for creating some cool titles and intros as well. So here I have an example. So you can see if I just add a text, by this you can create some really nice and simple title animations for your videos. I hope you get the idea of what I wanted to show and I hope you have learned something new today. You can also follow me on Twitter, Instagram and Facebook if you wish to. I hope this was helpful to you guys, and if it was, don't forget to subscribe, comment and like, and I'll see you in my next video. Till then, take care and thanks for watching guys.
Like this, tell me